Hello, this is an assessment of a Bechstein Model A that's 6 foot 1 inches long, made in about 1905, and it's in to see if we can improve it in any way. The client says there's an issue with the hammers, so just looking at the restoration in general, and it's high quality restoration. The polishing looks excellent. I think it's lacquered rather than French polished, but beautiful finish and excellent piano. The Model A Bechstein's one of our favourite pianos too, made in 1905. That particular era of Model A is particularly special pianos, I think, and just looking around the whole case, there's nothing really that I can say that needs doing. Just tidying up slightly on the top, there's a few bit of scratching here and there, and just needs cleaning as well, but there's no fade line. If we lift this up, look for a fade line. I've mentioned many times before, and it's important to try and keep the piano out of strong lights, and if it's in position of strong light, then if this is folded back, then it will tend to fade and you'll see a darker case there, and well, that's something we've mentioned many times. But generally speaking, the piano's in excellent condition, and the casework wise, and the restoration we're going to look at in a second, we can see here it has had some playing, not a huge amount of playing, just been played in perhaps since it's been restored, and we'll have a look at the regulation too in a second. The key tops are ivory, and there's 85 keys, by the way, not 88 keys. That's important to know if you're buying a Bechstein Model A, though it's unnecessary to have 88 keys if you're studying. You can take exams with 85 key pianos, that's not a problem. There's some replacements of the keys here. It's a little bit creamier colour, but beautifully done, I think, generally. The pedals were lacquered too. They do tend to wear and don't look very pleasant after a few years if they're lacquered over, so we don't like to do that normally. Taking the front rail off, I found this piece of card here from a piano tuner, and so we need to just double check to see if the front rail, if the keys are touching the front rail. It's quite common on Bechsteins, so that's something we need to look at. If there is an issue here, then we try and fix something more permanent, to either to the bottom of the key bed here or the back of the front rail. The action's been well restored and fitted with new hammers, shanks and rollers. That's exactly what we would do ourselves, and these are Renner hammer, shanks and rollers, so either Renner or Arbel are the two main firms that make top quality hammers. The action regulation is generally excellent. If we can see it checking there, in fact it's extremely well done, so that's encouraging. Unfortunately, this firm no longer restores pianos as far as I know. Checked their website as well, and there's nothing saying they restore pianos anymore. They did have them restored. This is 2007. They then a bit later on sent them abroad to be restored, and now they don't have them restored at all as far as I know, which is a shame because of good high quality restoration, as we'll see. I have checked the let off. This is the drop screw. Check the drop screw, and it's almost exactly right. Could possibly get a quarter turn, but it's almost as high as it will go, and the let off as well here. The only obvious thing that stood out is that this could do with some talc lubricant on it, and just to smooth it off. New actions have talc lubricant here, and I don't know if it's been applied originally, but normally when pianos are restored you put talc on here, and that just makes it slightly smoother. And the internal restoration has been done excellently. The acoustic side of it, really well restored. I couldn't really find anything to improve on it. It's had a new rest plank. This is a Delignate rest plank. You can see it's Delignate rest plank. Looking underneath, you can see they've shaved it off, and the different layers, multi-layered Delignate rest plank. You can see two of them here. This is the underside of the rest plank. So that's exactly the kind of work we would do. So this Bechstein Model A has been generally restored extremely well. Looking at the key weighting as well, we see 50 grams kind of key weighting that we're aiming at ourselves, going slightly lighter towards the treble. That's excellent. Generally the restoration does seem to be excellent, as an accorder pedal is a little bit noisy. So there's minor things to do, and I think the main issue with the hammers is voicing, really. If we listen to some of the hammers, let's have a play of some of them, and we'll mark some of them that need voicing. So that one there, let's have a just very slightly brighter than again that one there. It's been played in now, so it may be that when it was restored it was fine, but now it's been played in. In fact, when a piano is played in, it's a good time to think about voicing the hammers. I just marked some of the worst ones there, but when we do it, we'll find we can do a lot of voicing on all the hammers. There's another one that needs voicing as well. So that's definitely something that will improve the tone of the piano. But the touch is as good as you're going to get it, I think. Just maybe slight refinements. I did say we could slightly refine the let-off, but really it's very insignificant. Something, obviously we try and get the let-off as good as possible and still performing well, and the drop screw too, that's very, very, very slightly. There's a drop, I put a quarter of a turn, but really it's extremely well done. Definitely could tout the rollers, and again that might be something that's worn off over the years since it's been restored. I hope that's been helpful. I'm going to play the piano and maybe have a few more comments. So that's a Bechstein Model A made in 1905 and fully restored in 2007, and excellent work done. Unfortunately the restorer, as far as I know, doesn't restore pianos anymore. Looking at their website, they don't have any mention of restoration, but they did excellent work. There are a few things that can be improved, very, very slight regulation, but most things are really good. I think the main area that can be improved is just voicing. So there we have a brighter one. And as we go through it, we're going to, as we get more and more like sort of training a microscope on something, you gradually can see where you can refine it more and more. Generally voicing down slightly. There's a bright one. So working through it like that, seeing what sort of voicing might improve the piano, and you can also overdo the voicing so it gets too mellow. Normally voicing is voicing down when the hammer's been played in a little bit. So, but it's an excellent instrument. Choice of strings is excellent. Choice of hammers, just everything about it really. I hope that's been helpful. Thank you very much for listening. If you want a piano restored or refined, then please do write to us, info@robertspianos.com.